Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ultimate deep dive into the lives of the global icons who rewrote history. We all know the legendary tale of the 7 boys from a small agency who slept in a single room, sharing tears, sweat, and ramen in the dusty streets of Seoul. But today we are flipping the script because we are fast-forwarding to the present, where their net worths have exploded into numbers that look like phone numbers, and their lifestyle has shifted from survival to absolute sovereignty. Have you ever stopped to wonder, when the stadium lights go down and the cheering fades, where does that astronomical wealth actually go? We are not talking about simple designer clothes or flashy cars anymore. We are entering the territory of real estate moguls, high-stakes investments, and assets so exclusive they are hidden behind layers of corporate secrecy. Today, we are unlocking the vault to reveal the financial muscles of the biggest band in the world. From architectural masterpieces in Gangnam that cost more than a luxury resort to detached mansions that scream billionaire status, we are ranking the top 7 most expensive private purchases by BTS members. Who bought a building just to house their creativity? Who owns a penthouse that floats above the clouds of Korea? And the burning question that will haunt you until the very end. Who is number 1? And did they actually buy something that could rival a small country's GDP? Prepare your hearts and your calculators, because the scale of luxury we are about to witness is not just expensive, it is historic. Are you ready to see what true financial freedom looks like? Let's dive into the world of the Bangtan billions. Number 7. J-Hope. The Sunshine General's glass castle in the sky, a multi-million-dollar view that started it all. We are kicking off this countdown of astronomical wealth with the man who is the very heartbeat of BTS's performance and the first member to boldly step into the world of high-stakes real estate investment, signaling to the world that the Bangtan boys had officially arrived in the elite class of society. Before the mansions in Itaewon and the penthouses in Gangnam became the talk of the town, it was Jungkook, our beloved J-Hope, who made the first strategic checkmate on the chessboard of luxury living by purchasing a breathtaking unit in the legendary Seoul Forest Trimmage, a complex so exclusive and renowned that it is frequently referred to as the Castle of Idols or the Beverly Hills of Seoul. This wasn't just a purchase, it was a declaration of independence and a tangible proof of their blood, sweat, and tears turning into solid gold. Imagine a skyscraper that pierces the clouds, standing like 3 sharp blades of glass reflecting the soul of the Han River, located in the ultra-trendy Seongsu-dong district, an area that transformed from a gritty industrial zone into the Brooklyn of Seoul, thanks in no small part to the influx of young, rich cultural icons like J-Hope. When J-Hope signed the papers for this architectural masterpiece, he wasn't just buying 4 walls and a roof, he was buying into a lifestyle that is strictly gated from the public eye. A sanctuary where the elevators recognize your face and the security team operates with the precision of the Secret Service. The Trimmage is famous for its hotel-style services, offering everything from valet parking to breakfast delivery, indoor golf driving ranges, saunas, and a guest house for visitors, creating a self-contained ecosystem of luxury that perfectly suits a superstar who values privacy above all else. But let's talk about the unit itself, a space that reflects the bright, meticulous, and sophisticated aura of J-Hope himself. This apartment features floor-to-ceiling windows that wrap around the living space, offering a 270-degree panoramic view that captures the glistening waters of the Han River, the verdant canopy of Seoul Forest, and the glittering city skyline that stretches all the way to Namsan Tower. It is said that at night, the city lights below look like a sea of stars, a poetic reminder of the army bombs that illuminate his concerts. J-Hope purchased this unit back in 2016 for a reported 1.7 billion KRW, and then, in a move that showcased his astute financial intuition, he bought a second times unit on a different floor in 2018 for 3.7 billion KRW. Paying exclusively in cash without a single loan, a flex that had financial analysts nodding in respect. The value of these properties has since skyrocketed, more than doubling in price, proving that his dance moves aren't the only thing that is sharp. His investment portfolio is lethal. Living here puts him in the company of the absolute elite, with neighbors ranging from Super Junior members to top-tier actors and business moguls, creating a vertical village of South Korea's 1%. But beyond the marble floors, the imported European appliances, and the dizzying price tags, There is a deep emotional resonance to this purchase that tugs at the heartstrings of every fan who has followed their journey from the beginning. Think back to the days of Nonhyun-dong, where all 7 members were crammed into a single room, sleeping on bunk beds, surrounded by damp walls and the smell of uncertainty, where Hope, the pillar of the group's discipline, would tirelessly clean and organize their chaos. To go from that cramped, shared struggle to owning a glass castle in the sky is the ultimate hero's journey arc. This apartment represents his personal space, his hope world, a place where he can retreat from the deafening noise of global fame, play his music as loud as he wants, and dance in a living room that is likely larger than their entire debut-era dorm. It is a space where the sunshine of BTS can recharge his own batteries. Reports and glimpses from social media suggest an interior that is clean, modern, and filled with artistic touches, ironic KAWS figures, supreme collectibles, and art pieces that cost more than a luxury car, showcasing his impeccable taste that blends street culture with high-end refinement. The significance of J-Hope being the first to buy his own place cannot be overstated. It broke the ice for the other members, signaling that it was okay to establish their own individual nests while remaining part of the group, a sign of the maturity and stability of BTS's brotherhood. He didn't leave the dorm because he wanted to leave the members. He expanded his world because he had conquered it. The Seoul Forest Trimmage purchase is iconic, not just because of the price, but because it was the first flag planted on the summit of their success. It symbolizes the transition from idols to young, rich, and handsome icons who dominate the economy. Every time J-Hope looks out of those massive windows at the sunrise over the Han River, he is looking at a city he helped conquer, from a throne he built with his own 2 feet. This purchase set a standard, a benchmark for luxury that the other members would soon follow and even surpass, but there is always a special glory in being the first. J-Hope's residence is a testament to consistency, hard work, and the power of dreaming big. It stands as a beacon of hope, literally and figuratively, proving that the boy from Gwangju who loved to dance has danced his way into the highest echelons of the property market. This isn't just an apartment, it's a trophy case for a career that is unparalleled in music history. And yet, as staggering as this multi-million-dollar glass castle is, as mind-blowing as the cash payment was, and as enviable as that view of the Han River remains, we are only at number 7 on this list. If the starting point of our list involves a cash purchase of a luxury high-rise in the most coveted district of Seoul, can you even begin to fathom what lies ahead? The scale of wealth is about to jump from luxury apartments to architectural behemoths and assets that define legacy. J-Hope opened the door to the high life, but the next members kicked that door down and bought the whole building. Hold on to your seats, because the price tags are about to get heavier, the locations more secretive, and the luxury more unimaginable. We have only just scratched the surface of the Bangtan billions. Number 6. Jimin. The Angel's impenetrable fortress in Korea's Beverly Hills, a multi-billion-won cash slap that shook the nation. If number 7 was about touching the sky in a glass castle, number 6 is about grounding oneself in the absolute fortress of solitude, a purchase so massive, so secure, and so astronomically expensive that it redefined the meaning of young and rich for the entire K-pop industry. We are shifting the spotlight to the man who dances with the grace of a swan but makes financial moves with the ferocity of a tiger, the one and only Park Jimin. When the news broke in 2021, it didn't just make headlines. It caused a seismic shift in the real estate world because Jimin didn't just buy an apartment, he bought an entry ticket into the most exclusive, secretive, and fortified residential complex in South Korea, the legendary 9-1 Gangnam. Let's set the scene, because context is everything. Gangnam-dong is not just a neighborhood, it is a symbol. It is the traditional Beverly Hills of Seoul, historically home to chaotic business tycoons, politicians, and diplomats. A place chosen for its perfect feng shui, with the Namsan Mountain guarding the back and the Han River flowing in the front. A geographical setup known as Basin Imsu that is believed to bring endless wealth and honor to those who reside there. And right in the heart of this auspicious land sits 9-1 Gangnam, a complex that looks less like an apartment building and more like a modern art museum guarded by the military. Jimin, the boy who once shared a cramped room and worried about his debut, walked into the real estate office and dropped a staggering 5.9 billion KRW, that is approximately 5.3 million USD at the time, for a unit in this fortress. But here is the detail that made jaws drop all over the world. On the official property registration document, under the section for loan, the space was completely blank. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Jimin paid the entire 5.9 billion won in cold, hard cash, a single lump sum payment that flexed a level of liquidity that most corporations don't even have on hand. Imagine the scene, the mochi we adore, signing a check that could fund a small town without breaking a sweat, proving that while he may be the sweetest member, his bank account is intimidatingly serious. The unit he purchased is a sprawling 293 square meter masterpiece, approx 89 pyong, a size so vast that you could probably play a game of soccer in the living room. Unlike the vertical, glass-heavy design of J-Hope's Trimage, 91 Gangnam is all about low-rise, horizontal grandeur, designed to offer maximum privacy and a connection to nature while being utterly impenetrable to the outside world. It is a bunker for the elite. The complex is famous for having a 4-step security verification system that makes the Pentagon look accessible. There are dedicated elevators, private lobbies, and security personnel who are trained to stop paparazzi before they even think about raising a camera. This is exactly what Jimin, a superstar constantly under the microscope of the world, needed: a place where he could disappear. Inside, the luxury is understated but overwhelming. We are talking about high ceilings that create an airy, gallery-like atmosphere, imported marble from Italy, kitchen appliances that cost more than a luxury sedan, and a specialized air filtration system that ensures the idol breathes only the purest oxygen. The community amenities are equally insane, featuring a private swimming pool, a golf range, a party room for VVIP guests, and a clubhouse where breakfast is served by top-tier hotel chefs, ensuring that Jimin never has to leave his sanctuary if he doesn't want to. Living here puts Jimin in the same zip code as the absolute royalty of Korean celebrity culture, including G-Dragon of Big Bang, turning the complex into a god's dormitory where the legends of K-pop sleep. But beyond the glitz and the terrifying price tag, there is a deeply reflective layer to this purchase. Think about Jimin's character. He is known for his intense perfectionism, his tendency to stay up late practicing, and his emotional sensitivity. For years, he lived in shared spaces, constantly surrounded by noise and people. This purchase of 91 Gangnam represents his ultimate need for a sanctuary, a serendipity of his own making where he can finally be just Park Jimin, the human, not the idol. It's a place where he can retreat after a stadium tour, sink into a sofa that costs a fortune, and enjoy the silence that he earned with his blood, sweat, and tears. The sheer magnitude of buying a 5.9 billion won home in cash tells a story of incredible financial discipline and success. It is a long way from the days when he almost got cut from the debut lineup. Now, he owns a slice of the most expensive land in the country. The Jimin effect usually refers to products selling out when he wears them, but this purchase showed the Jimin wealth effect, a quiet, dignified, yet overwhelmingly powerful demonstration of status. He didn't buy a flashy sports car to show off. He bought a fortress to protect his peace. And yet, as we marvel at this 5.9 billion won cash flex, as we imagine Jimin walking through the marble halls of 91 Gangnam, we have to remember, this is only rank number 6. We have barely climbed the ladder. If a cash-bought fortress in Gangnam-dong is sitting at the bottom half of our list, what kind of unimaginable assets are waiting in the top 5? We are moving from luxury apartments to purchases that involve entire buildings and global footprints. The numbers are about to get bigger, the assets more unique, and the stories even more unbelievable. Who could possibly outspend the cash king Jimin? The answer might surprise you as we continue our journey into the Bangtan billions. Number 5. RM. The Dragon's Lair of Art and Intellect, a multi-billion won private museum hidden in plain sight. If number 6 was about finding a fortress for rest, number 5 is about constructing a sanctuary for the mind. A purchase so sophisticated and culturally significant that it transcends the definition of mere real estate and enters the realm of legacy preservation. We are ascending the throne of the leader, the philosophical backbone of BTS, the man with an IQ of 148 and a bank account that is likely just as high-numbered, Kim Namjoon, famously known as RM. While the other members might spend their wealth on gaming setups or fashion, RM directed his financial firepower toward a specific, meticulously calculated goal: creating a private museum where he can commune with the masters of art and history. In the spring of 2021, just months before Jimin made his move, RM shattered real estate records and headlines alike by purchasing a prime unit in the very same ultra-luxurious, ultra-secure 9-1 Gangnam complex. But here is where the story diverges, and the ranking climbs. RM didn't just buy a home. He bought the crown jewel of the complex at a higher price point, dropping a majestic 6.3 billion KRW, approximately 5.7 million USD at the time, in a transaction that was, you guessed it, 100% cash. No mortgages, no bank approvals, just a direct transfer of wealth that solidified his status as a titan of industry. Why is his ranked higher than Jimin's despite being in the same complex? It comes down to the price tag, the specific positioning of the unit, which offers slightly better views and square footage, approx 293.93 square meters, and the sheer smart rich aura surrounding the deal. You see, RM is not just a musician, he is a savvy investor. Before settling into this 6.3 billion won palace, he owned a unit in Gangnam the Hill, which he sold for a massive profit of 900 million KRW just before moving, proving that his golden touch extends from songwriting to property flipping. He played the market with the same precision he plays with wordplay in his lyrics. Let's step inside this 6.3 billion won sanctuary. While we can't physically walk through the doors due to the military-grade security that protects the privacy of South Korea's top 0.1%, we can construct a vivid image based on RM's public persona and the glimpses he has shared. If J-Hope's home is a pop art gallery and Jimin's is a cozy bunker, RM's residence is undoubtedly a temple of Danshekwa, Korean monochrome painting, and mid-century modern aesthetics. Imagine walking into a living room that feels less like a domestic space and more like a wing of the National Museum of Modern and Contemporary Art. The walls are not just walls, they are canvases holding masterpieces by Lee Ufan, Kim Wanki, and Yoon Hyung-kyun, artworks that are often worth more than the luxury cars parked in the garage downstairs. The climate control system in his unit isn't just for his comfort, it's likely calibrated to preserve the humidity levels for his multi-million-dollar art collection. This purchase signifies the evolution of Kim Namjoon from the underground rapper Runch Randa, who spat fire in Hongdae basements, to a global cultural ambassador who needs a space grand enough to hold his expanding worldview. The 6.3 billion won price tag pays for more than just marble and glass. It pays for the silence required to write the next chapter of music history. It pays for a terrace where he can tend to his beloved bonsais, engaging in Namjooning while overlooking the chaotic city that he holds in the palm of his hand. The atmosphere of 9-1 Gangnam perfectly suits RM's duality. It is located in the heart of Seoul, yet feels completely removed from it, surrounded by the Namsan Mountains, which provide a spiritual grounding. The complex was designed by grandmasters of architecture, focusing on void and nature, concepts that align perfectly with RM's appreciation for negative space and tranquility. Living here means he is neighbors not just with his bandmate Jimin, but with the captains of Korean industry, the families behind the conglomerates that drive the nation's economy. This places RM not just as a celebrity, but as a peer to the power players of South Korea. It is a statement that BTS has transcended the entertainment industry and entered the realm of national assets. Furthermore, the sheer liquidity required to drop 6.3 billion won without a loan speaks volumes about the black card power of BTS. In a world where interest rates fluctuate and economies tremble, RM's ability to secure a hard asset of this magnitude with cash is the ultimate safety net. It is a fortress that protects him from the volatility of fame. But there is a deeply emotional layer to this purchase as well. Being the leader of the biggest boy band in the world carries a crushing weight. The constant pressure to speak for the group, to translate, to mediate, and to lead requires a mental fortitude that is superhuman. This home is his recharge station. It is the place where he can take off the leader RM mask and just be Namjoon, the young man who loves reading books, riding bicycles, and looking at the moon. The expansive library he likely built within these walls is his escape hatch. Every one spent on this property was an investment in his mental health and his creative longevity. When he looks out from his terrace at the Han River, he isn't just looking at a view, he is looking at the reflection of his own success, a journey that took him from sharing a cramped bunk bed to owning a piece of the sky. The 6.3 billion won figure is a testament to the value the world places on his mind and his music. It is a reward for the countless nights spent in the studio, the scrutiny, and the sacrifice. RM's purchase of this 9-1 Gangnam unit is a masterclass in quiet luxury. It doesn't scream for attention with gold plating or flashy neon. It commands respect through sheer scale, location, and the intellectual weight of its owner. It is a home fit for a philosopher king. And yet, even with a private museum worth over $5.7 million purchased in cash, RM only secures the number 5 spot on our list. This shows just how terrifyingly steep the curve of BTS's wealth truly is. We have seen glass castles and art fortresses, but we have not yet touched the realm of detached mansions and global assets that dwarf even these high-rise luxuries. The next entry takes us out of the apartment complex lifestyle and into a level of independence and grandeur that is reserved for the ultra-elite, who demand their own land, their own gates, and their own rules. Who could possibly have outspent the leader? The answer lies in the hands of the members who decided that sharing a building, even a luxury one, was simply not enough. Prepare yourself, because we are entering the top 4, and the price tags are about to explode.
Number 4. V. The Renaissance Prince's secret villa in Gangnam's Golden Block, a masterpiece of classic luxury worth every one. We have explored the glass towers of Seoul Forest and the fortress-like bunkers of Gangnam, but now we are crossing the river and entering the beating heart of modern South Korean wealth. We are heading to the district that became a global phenomenon, the land of Gangnam Style, where the streets are paved with ambition and the air smells of old money. And who is the owner of the number 4 spot on our list? It is none other than the man whose face has been declared a national treasure, the visual god who looks like he stepped out of a Renaissance painting and into a saline runway show, Kim Taehyung, also known as V. While his bandmates were clustering in the diplomat district of Gangnam, V, true to his unique and unpredictable alien personality, decided to go against the grain. He set his sights on the prestigious, high-octane business district of Samsungdong, securing a residence that is not just a house, but a statement of artistic sovereignty. In late 2019, just as BTS was conquering the world's biggest stadiums, V quietly walked into a real estate closing room and dropped a cool 5.1 billion KRW, approximately 4.5 million USD at the time, for a luxury unit in the ultra-exclusive Applebaum complex. Now you might be looking at the calculator and thinking, wait, wasn't RM's purchase 6.3 billion? But here is where the edutainment lesson on real estate value comes in. In the world of high-stakes property, the asterisk purchase price is just history. The prestige asterisk and location value are the present. Samsungdong is slated to become the future transport and business hub of Seoul with the massive Hyundai GBC development. Meaning V didn't just buy a home. He bought a golden ticket to the most explosive property value increase in the city. His 5.1 billion won investment has likely appreciated to a level that rivals or exceeds the Gangnam properties, securing his spot at number 4. Let's talk about the Applebaum. The name itself, derived from the German word for apple tree, whispers of nature and aristocracy, and the complex lives up to the hype. This is not a crowded high-rise with hundreds of neighbors. Oh no. The Samsungdong Applebaum is a boutique collection of only 17 households. Yes, you heard that right. Only 17 families have the privilege of calling this address home. This level of exclusivity is precisely what a superstar like V, who is chased by cameras 24/7, desperately craves. It is a villa concept, meaning it offers the spaciousness and privacy of a detached house with the security and convenience of a luxury apartment. It is a hybrid of comfort and fortress living. By choosing this location, V became neighbors with the absolute A-list of Korean entertainment. We are talking about icons like Lee Byung-hun and Jang Dong-gun. Imagine the elevator rides in this building. It wouldn't just be a commute, it would be a red carpet event. The security here is legendary, with a walled gate system that makes it impossible for outsiders to even peek inside, allowing V to live his slow life in peace. Now close your eyes and imagine the interior. While we can't breach the walls of his privacy, we know V's taste is a blend of vintage jazz bar aesthetics, classic European art, and cozy, warm textures. We can imagine his Applebaum unit as a sprawling 282 square meter canvas for his Vant persona. This is likely where he keeps his trumpet, where his expensive vinyl collection spins old jazz records on a loop, and where he sets up his easel to paint abstract art in the middle of the night. The unit boasts massive windows that likely offer a view of the Han River from a different angle, a view of the city's bustling energy that he can observe from a safe distance, like a prince in a tower. The floors are likely polished marble or rich hardwood, perfect for Yonton, his beloved Pomeranian, to tap dance on. The high ceilings and expansive walls are necessary to house his growing art collection, which includes pieces by obscure artists and modern masters that cost as much as a small apartment. Every corner of this house probably screams Kim Taehyung, eccentric, expensive, warm, and undeniably beautiful. But the most jaw-dropping aspect of this purchase is, once again, the method of payment. 5.1 billion won, paid in cash. There is something visceral about imagining the sheer volume of that wealth. Most people spend 30 years paying off a mortgage for a modest 3-bedroom house. V, at the tender age of 23, wired that amount in a single banking day without needing a penny from a loan shark or a bank. It is a flex of financial muscle that contrasts sharply with his goofy, box-smile personality. It reminds us that behind the playful antics and the Tata-Mike face is a serious, self-made multimillionaire who knows exactly what he is doing. He went from a farmer's son in Daegu, who thought a red North Face jacket was the peak of luxury, to owning a slice of the most expensive land in the capital city. The emotional weight of this purchase is heavy. V has always been a family man, deeply connected to his grandmother and his parents. This home isn't just a bachelor pad, it is a family castle, a place big enough to host his loved ones, a place where he can provide them with the comfort they never had when he was growing up. It is a tangible repayment of the love he received. Furthermore, the Samsungdong location places him right in the center of the action. It is close to the COEX Mall, the business district, and the major entertainment agencies, meaning V is positioned like a king on a chessboard, central, protected, and powerful. While the Hanamdong boys, RM and Jimin, chose the quiet, diplomatic seclusion of the hill, V chose the vibrant, beating heart of the city. It reflects his personality perfectly. He loves people, he loves energy, he loves fashion and art, and Samsungdong is the epicenter of it all. This purchase was a declaration that he is not just an idol, he is a socialite, a connector, a main character in the movie of Seoul's high society. The Applebaum Villa is a space that allows him to be the great Gatsby of K-pop if he wanted to be, or the reclusive artist if he chooses. And let's not forget the investment angle. Real estate experts in Korea went wild when V bought this place because the price per pyeong, 3.3 SQ meters in Samsungdong, was skyrocketing. By buying in 2019, V got in before the post-pandemic real estate boom, meaning his asset has likely appreciated by billions of won simply by sitting there. It was a genius move. He didn't just buy a house, he parked his money in a vault that grows larger every year. It shows that he listens to financial advisors, or perhaps he has a golden intuition for value, just like he has for melodies. So we have the Trimage of J-Hope at 7, the 9-1 Fortress of Jimin at 6, the Art Museum of RM at 5, and now the Gangnam Villa of V at number 4. The price tags have hovered in the 5 to 6 billion won range at purchase, but we are about to break the ceiling. The top 3 entries on this list are not just purchases, they are empires. We are talking about assets that define dynasty. Who could possibly have spent more than the Prince of Gangnam? Who has the audacity to buy something even more expensive, even more shocking? Is it the oldest member with his worldwide handsome wallet? Is it the golden Maknae with a golden touch? Or is it the genius producer who turns silence into gold? The numbers are about to get scary. The luxury is about to get blinding. We are leaving the realm of apartments and villas and entering a new dimension of wealth. Stay with me, because number 3 will make you question everything you know about K-pop salaries. Number 3, Jin. The worldwide handsome, Emperor's Palace in the most expensive complex in history, a multi-billion won gift that made parents cry. We have traversed the glittering skyscrapers of Seoul Forest, infiltrated the art-filled bunkers of 91 Gangnam, and peeked into the exclusive villas of Gangnam. But now we are arriving at the absolute summit of residential prestige. Number 3 on our list belongs to the man who refers to himself as worldwide handsome, and actually has the bank account to back up that title a billion times over. We are talking about the oldest member, the Madyoung, eldest brother who raised the younger members on his back, the visual god who makes headlines just by breathing, Kim Seokjin, the one and only Jin. While the other members were busy snapping up the trendy new 91 Gangnam, Jin had his eyes set on the undisputed heavyweight champion of Korean real estate, a complex that held the title of most expensive apartment in South Korea for 7 consecutive years. This is not just a home, it is Gangnam the Hill, a name that strikes fear and envy into the hearts of the merely rich. If 91 Gangnam is for the new, trendy elite, Gangnam the Hill is for the established old money, the titans of industry, the political heavyweights, and Jin. In a move that screamed, "I am the king," Jin purchased a massive penthouse-style unit in this legendary complex. But the story of his wealth is not just about a single transaction. It is a saga of dominance. He didn't just buy here once. He bought asterisk twice asterisk. First, he dipped his toes in the water with a unit in 2018, paid in cash, of course. But that was just the appetizer. In 2019, he decided that he needed more space, perhaps to house his gigantic RJ plushie collection or his legendary Maple Story gaming setup, and he upgraded to a sprawling, majestic suite for a reported 4.3 billion KRW. At the time, again, dropping the full amount in cash like he was buying a pack of ramen at the convenience store. But wait, why is this ranked number 3, ahead of V and even the higher price tags of RM? Because we are looking at the prestige value and the asterisk current market explosion. Gangnam the Hill is not just an apartment. It is a sprawling, low-density parkland in the middle of the city, a fortress where the units are now trading for astronomical sums that make his initial purchase look like a bargain. The current value of a unit of this magnitude in the Hill has skyrocketed past the 8 to 9 billion won mark, solidifying Jin's status as a real estate genius who knows exactly where to park his millions. Let's take a virtual tour of this castle on the hill. Unlike the claustrophobic high-rises, Gangnam the Hill is designed to feel like a private resort. It sits on a massive plot of land that used to be a university, meaning the density is incredibly low. Jin isn't sharing his air with thousands of people. He is sharing it with trees, sculptures by Yae Kusama in the gardens, and the chirping of birds that probably cost more than your car. The security here is rumored to be intense enough to stop a special ops team. It is the preferred residence of diplomats and corporate chairmen because it offers absolute, disturb-proof silence. For Jin, who is known for his loud, chaotic energy on camera but craves deep, introverted peace off camera, this is the ultimate paradox. It is a place where Eat Jin can film in a kitchen that is likely larger than most restaurants, fitted with German appliances that cost a fortune, surrounded by Italian marble that reflects his handsome face from every angle. We can imagine the interior, pristine, organized, he hates clutter, likely featuring a dedicated gaming room that looks like a NASA command center where he spends hours playing video games, proving that you can be a multimillionaire and still grind for virtual levels. The view from his terrace isn't just a city view. It is a view of Namsan Tower and the curated landscapes of the complex, a view that whispers, "You have made it." But the true reason Jin lands at number 3, the reason this purchase is the most edutaining and emotionally resonant story on this list is what he did with this wealth. In a plot twist that melted the hearts of millions and made every parent in Korea look at their own children with expectation, it was revealed that Jin transferred the ownership shares of this multi-billion won apartment to his parents. Yes, you heard that right. He didn't just buy a bachelor pad for his own hedonistic pleasure. He bought a palace to honor the people who raised him. This act of filial piety, Hyo, is the ultimate flex in Asian culture. Buying a Lamborghini is cool, but buying your parents a 4.3 billion won home in the most expensive complex in the nation, that is God-tier status. It tells us everything we need to know about Kim Seok-jin. Behind the dad jokes, the flying kisses, and the chaotic humor, there is a deeply responsible, caring, and traditional man who puts family above fame. This apartment represents the culmination of his journey, from the boy who was scouted getting off a bus, who had no background in singing or dancing, who worked tirelessly to keep the group together, to the man who can now provide a life of absolute luxury for his bloodline. Living in Gangnam, the hill also means Jin is surrounded by a network of power. His neighbors include the owners of LG, Samsung executives, and top-tier actors. It places him in the social registry of the Korean elite. The atmosphere of the complex is one of quiet power. You don't hear engines revving here. You hear the sound of success settling in. The feng shui of the location is said to be perfect, backing up to the mountain and facing the river, ensuring that Jin's wealth will only continue to grow. And let's not forget the sheer size of the unit, approx 233 square meters over 70 pyeong, of pure, unadulterated luxury. It is a space big enough for the members to gather. They used to live in this complex as a group in a dorm, and Jin loved it so much he bought his own, yet private enough for him to be alone. The story of Jin's purchase is a masterclass in how to spend money like a gentleman. He didn't go for the flashiest exterior. He went for the highest reputation, the best land value, and the deepest emotional connection. It is a purchase that says, I am not just a pop star, I am a legacy. So we have the Trimage Glass Castle, the 9-1 Art Bunkers, the Applebaum Villa, and now the Gangnam the Hill Dynasty Palace at number 3. The price tags are blurring into the stratosphere, and the level of luxury is becoming hard to comprehend. But if the king of the hill and the filial son is only at number 3, who on earth could be number 2 and number 1? We have 2 members left. One is the Golden Maknae, who turns everything he touches into gold, and the other is the genius producer, whose copyright royalties alone could probably buy a small island. We are leaving the world of apartments behind. The next entries are about to redefine the scale of private property. We are talking about assets that are so unique, so expensive, and so shocking that they belong in a movie, not a YouTube list. Are you ready to see who takes the silver medal in the race of the banked in billions? Take a deep breath, because number 2 is about to hit you with a level of swag that is illegal in 50 countries. Number 2, Suga. The hand of Midas's diplomatic fortress in the UN village, a silent sanctuary where royalties built a kingdom. We have now reached the runner-up spot, the silver medalist in the race of the banked in billions, and the atmosphere is shifting from luxury to legend. If the previous entries were about pop stars buying beautiful homes, this entry is about a musical tycoon securing a center of operations. We are talking about the man who famously said, I want to be a rich rock star, and then proceeded to become exactly that and so much more. He is the hand of Midas, the genius producer whose fingertips turn silence into gold, the rapper who spits fire under the alias August D, and the shadowed architect of BTS's sound, Min Yoongi, the one and only Suga. While his bandmates were clustering in the high-rise palaces of the hill, and 9-1, Suga, with his characteristic, I don't give a attitude, turned his gaze toward an area that is even more exclusive, even more secretive, and steeped in a completely different kind of power. He didn't just buy a home, he bought a fortress in the legendary UN village. Yes, the United Nations village. The name itself sounds like a restricted zone in a spy movie, and honestly, it basically is. In a transaction that sent shockwaves through the financial districts of Seoul, Suga purchased a luxury villa in the prestigious Gangnam River Hill complex located right in the heart of the UN village. While the reported purchase price at the time was around 3.4 billion KRW, a figure that has since appreciated wildly, the asterisk value of this purchase lands him at number 2 because of the sheer asterisk exclusivity asterisk, the renovation costs to build a world-class studio, and the fact that he bought into a neighborhood where money alone cannot get you in. You need status. This is the playground of foreign diplomats, chaebol chairmen, and the absolute icons of the industry like T.O.P. and Taeyong of BIGBANG. By moving here, Suga didn't just buy a house, he ascended to the god tier of Korean celebrity hierarchy. Let's break down the UN village mythos to understand why this is the number 2 flex. Unlike the high-rise apartments of Seoul Forest or the massive complexes of Gangnam the Hill, the UN village is a collection of low-density, high-security villas that cling to the cliffs overlooking the Han River. It is the only neighborhood in Korea where the feng shui is said to be perfect for scholars and leaders, making it the spiritual home for a lyricist of Suga's caliber. The entrance to the village is guarded like a military base. There are checkpoints, patrolling guards, and a level of silence that is deafening. This is exactly what Min Yoongi craves. We know him as the member who cherishes sleep and silence above all else, the introvert who recharges in the dark. This home is his Batcave. The Gangnam River Hill complex itself is an architectural marvel, designed to blend into the hillside, offering a view of the river that is unobstructed and eternal. But the real story is what lies asterisk inside asterisk those walls. When Suga moved, he didn't just move his clothes, he moved the legendary Genius Lab. Imagine the interior of this multi-billion-won fortress. We are not talking about a standard living room with a TV. We are envisioning a space that has been acoustically treated to the highest professional standards, a sanctuary where the next global hit is brewed. The Genius Lab is the heart of this home, filled with analog synthesizers, rare microphones, and computer systems that likely cost more than a luxury sedan. This is where the magic happens. This is where Die Tweede was likely polished, where collaborations with global artists are engineered, and where Suga sits in his expensive Herman Miller chair, sipping whiskey and looking out at the moon over the Han River. The contrast is poetic. The boy who once had to choose between eating noodles or taking the bus home, the boy who worked part-time delivery jobs and shattered his shoulder in an accident, now owns a piece of the most protected land in Seoul, paid for by the very music he bled to create. Every brick in that villa was bought with a royalty check. Every window was paid for by a copyright. The financial independence represented here is staggering. While idols rely on schedules for income, Suga relies on asterisk intellectual property. Even if he sleeps, his bank account grows. This home is the physical manifestation of that passive income empire. The aesthetic of Suga's UN village home is widely rumored to be the epitome of minimalist luxury. If V's home is a warm art gallery, Suga's is likely cool, sleek, and modern, lots of black, gray, and chrome, matching his August D persona. It is a space of focus. The Gangnam River Hill units are famous for their massive terraces and private gardens, giving him a space to breathe fresh air without ever being seen by a paparazzi's telephoto lens. The layout is expansive, often exceeding 240 square meters, approx 75 pyeong, providing enough room for a private gym. We know he's been bulking up. A master kitchen where he can cook his famous steak, and a guest wing for the few people he trusts enough to invite over. The neighbors here respect privacy like a religion. T.O.P. isn't going to ask for sugar, and the German diplomat next door isn't going to ask for a selfie. It is a gentleman's club of silence. But why does this rank number 2, beating out the higher sticker prices of RM and Jimin? Because of the producer's premium. In the world of real estate, A home that houses a commercial-grade production studio adds a layer of value that is incalculable. Suga's home is not just a residence, it is a factory of culture. The intellectual property generated within those walls is worth billions. Furthermore, the appreciation rate of the UN village has been explosive. Because no new construction is allowed in this protected zone, the supply is zero and the demand is infinite. Suga owns a limited edition asset. He holds a golden ticket that everyone wants but no one can find. It is the ultimate flex for a man who hates flexing. He doesn't need to show you his house. The fact that you know he lives in the UN village is enough to silence the room. It is a statement of old money energy from a young self-made king. There is also a deeply emotional narrative here regarding his journey. Suga has always been open about his struggles with mental health, anxiety, and the pressure of fame. This home in the UN village is his shield. It is the one place on earth where he is not Suga of BTS or August D. He is just Min Yoongi, a human being who likes basketball and cats. The security of this complex allows him to walk around his neighborhood without fear. It gives him the normalcy he sacrificed his youth to attain. To see the rapper who wrote lyrics about sleeping on the floor of a bathroom now sleeping in the master suite of a villa in Korea's diplomatic district is the ultimate started from the bottom. Now we're here story. It inspires us because it proves that talent, resilience, and a bit of spite against the haters can build a castle. So we have the glass castle of J-Hope, the fortress of Jimin, the museum of RM, the villa of V, the palace of Jin, and now the diplomatic bunker of Suga at number 2. We have seen apartments, penthouses, and villas. We have seen prices soar into the multi-millions, but we have one spot left. One member remains. The Golden Maknae, the boy who grew up in front of our eyes. If the hand of Midas is at number 2, what on earth did the youngest member buy to secure the number 1 spot? Did he buy a planet? Did he buy an island? Or did he buy something so massive, so detached, and so architecturally ambitious that it makes the other purchases look like starter homes? The finale is here. The crown prince of pop is about to take the throne. Prepare yourself for the ultimate display of young, rich, and handsome power. Number 1 is not just a purchase, it's a headline that shook the world. Number 1, Jungkook. The Golden Maknae's 5-story Itaewon megastructure, a detached castle built on the ashes of history. We have arrived at the summit, the absolute peak of the Bangtan Billions, and standing alone at the top, looking down from a hill that overlooks the entire city, is the youngest, the strongest, and the most financially fearless member of BTS. Jungkook. If the Hyung's older brothers taught us about luxury apartments, Jungkook is teaching us about land sovereignty *. In November 2020, while the world was in chaos, Jungkook quietly made a move that shook the bedrock of the Korean real estate market. He didn't go to a fancy sales office for a high-rise. He went to the historic, ultra-wealthy, and diplomatic enclave of Itaewon, specifically the diplomatic district, where the embassies of nations and the residences of conglomerate chairmen chaebols are hidden behind massive walls. There, he purchased a 2-story detached house for a mind-numbing 7.63 billion KRW, approximately 7 million USD at the time. Let that sink in. 7.63 billion won, in cash. A single transaction that transferred the ownership of a prime slice of South Korean soil directly into the hands of a 23-year-old artist. But here is the plot twist that earns him the undisputed number 1 spot. He didn't move in. A move that screams billionaire flex. Jungkook looked at this multi-million-dollar mansion, decided it wasn't enough for his vision, and eventually obtained a permit to demolish it. That's right. He bought a 7.6 billion won house just to tear it down. Why? To build a custom, architectural behemoth that defies all expectations. According to public construction permits and municipal reports, Jungkook is constructing a massive single-family luxury residence on this land. The scale is terrifying. 2 floors underground basement levels, and 3 floors above ground, totaling 5 levels of sheer luxury. The total floor area is reported to be a staggering 1,161.04 square meters, approx 351 pyong. Let's put that into perspective for the edutainment value. The massive apartments of RM and Jimin in 91 Gangnam are around 293 square meters. Jungkook's new castle is nearly asterisk 4 times the size of the other members' homes. It is not an apartment. It is a departmental store of living space. It is a compound. While the other members share elevators and parking garages with neighbors, Jungkook owns the gate, the driveway, the garden, and the sky above his land. This is the difference between rich and wealthy. Owning a detached house in this specific part of Itaewon, often called Chairman's Hill, because the heads of Samsung, SK, and Shinsegae live nearby, signals that Jungkook has entered the highest social stratum of the country. He is neighbors with the people who own the Korean economy. Imagine the interior of this fortress once it is completed. With 2 basement levels, the possibilities are endless and likely tailored to the golden Maknae's eclectic hobbies. One level could easily be a full-scale commercial gym, Iron Bun's sanctuary, complete with a boxing ring where he can spar with professional trainers without leaving his house. Another section could be a state-of-the-art recording studio that rivals HYBE's own facilities, allowing him to record the next golden album at 3 a.m. in his pajamas. We can picture a massive garage to house his collection of luxury cars and motorcycles, a home cinema with IMAX-quality screens, and perhaps a dedicated space for his painting and artistic endeavors. And let's not forget BAM. This detached house likely features a sprawling private garden, a rarity in the concrete jungle of Seoul, where his beloved Doberman can run free without a leash, protected by high walls and state-of-the-art security systems that rival the Blue House. The location itself is steeped in feng shui majesty. Itaewon's diplomatic hill is known for its auspicious geography, said to channel the energy of the mountains and the river to bring longevity and power. By planting his flag here, Jungkook is securing a legacy that goes beyond music. It is a forever home. Unlike apartments which can feel transient, a custom-built detached mansion is a generational asset. It is a place he can raise a family, host the members for a barbecue on the roof, and grow old in. The view from the 3rd floor would offer a sweeping panorama of Namsan Tower and the bustling city below, a city that he conquered with his voice and his dance moves. The financial implication of this project is what truly secures the #1 rank. The 7.63 billion won was just the asterisk purchase price of the old house and land. The cost of demolition, excavation, architectural design, and constructing a 5-story ultra-luxury modern mansion with imported materials likely adds another 5 to 8 billion won, or more, to the total investment. We are looking at a project that could easily exceed 15 to 20 billion KRW in total value once completed. This dwarfs the apartment purchases of the Hyungs. It is a level of investment that requires not just money, but vision and patience. It shows that Jungkook is not looking for a quick flip. He is building a monument. There's a beautiful narrative arc here. We all remember the 15-year-old Jungkook, the shy boy with big doe eyes who came to Seoul alone, scared and missing his parents. He lived in the cramped Blue House dorm, sleeping on the floor, eating convenience store food and crying because he missed his mom. To see that same boy, now a global superstar, literally building a castle on the most expensive hill in Korea, is the ultimate emotional payoff. He didn't just survive the industry, he conquered it. He went from the Maknae on top, youngest on top, playfully to the Maknae on top of the real estate pyramid literally. The Itaewon mansion is also a symbol of his desire for true privacy. In an apartment, no matter how luxurious, you are part of a collective. In a detached house, you are an island. Jungkook, who gives so much of himself to the fans, desperately needs a place where he can turn off the world. This fortress provides that. It is a bunker for the global pop star and a home for Jimin Jungkook. The sheer audacity of buying a house to tear it down reflects his perfectionism. Just like he constantly refines his vocals and his dancing, he is refining his living space until it is absolutely perfect. He doesn't settle for good enough. He builds exactly what he wants. So there you have it. The list is complete. From J-Hope's glass castle to Jungkook's mega mansion, we have witnessed a journey of wealth that parallels their journey of fame. They started from the bottom and now, quite literally, they own the top. Jungkook's #1 spot is well earned not just by the price tag, but by the sheer scale, the independence, and the construction of a dream that it represents. It is a purchase that leaves us wondering, if he is building this at 25, what will he own at 35? The world is his oyster, and he just bought the pearl. //